The demise of Inbox was one of the most painful for millions of fans out there of this Gmail replacement. That said, the very best of Inbox now lives on through the team behind Shortwave. So, to understand why, we've gone hands-on. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Google here on YouTube. Remember to thumbs up, hit subscribe and then tap the bell icon to be among the first to watch our upcoming videos. So for the purposes of this hands-on, we've actually focused on the Android app experience for those that truly miss and lament the demise of Inbox. It's early on in its life cycle, but there is a lot here for just about anyone to try the app out for size for themselves. It's also important to note that Shortwave is in fact just an optional or alternative client for your Gmail account. This does mean that you'll need to be happy to link your Google account to the service, otherwise you actually won't be able to enjoy any of the fun. So here's some bad news right up top though. Shortwave, at least on Android in its current state, is nothing more than a web wrapper for a Chrome web page, that is. You can download a dedicated app for iOS, Mac and even Windows, which is something that might be of interest to people out there. For now though, the Android experience is not quite as impressive as it may have seemed, at least in the early marketing phases. Sure, it works just fine, but I've personally found that notifications themselves can be a little bit hit or miss, but mainly on the hit side of things. After some troubleshooting, I will admit I still haven't been getting notifications quite as regularly as I'd probably prefer on my Pixel 6 Pro running Android 12. I do get pings on my phone maybe 9 out of 10 times, which is by no means terrible. It's just not perfect to say the least, at least in my own experience that is. Even changing account settings per Shortwave's own support pages haven't fully resolved this issue, and I thought I'd let you know up front that this is still in its early phases and we're hoping that this will improve as a dedicated Android app comes soon. It's also worth noting that because this is a web app after all, you do lose the ability to use Android's inbuilt smart reply feature when emails do come in, and you can access some of the other features within the web app such as bulk archiving and more. Now, this isn't exactly ideal for those wanting to rely on Shortwave as their sole email app of choice on their Android phones, at least at this point in time, but we're hopeful that this will, or at least some of these admittedly minor teething problems, will be resolved when a true native app arrives on Android, which is in the works, so we've been told. It's more annoying given that it works just fine on the iOS version of the app, sans smart reply, and it does feel as though iOS has been given preference here, but that said, it won't be for too much longer, we do hope. So Inbox may no longer exist, but it's clear to see just how similar the UI happens to be to Shortwave. Fans will be really happy to hear that Shortwave auto-categorizes and sorts emails together and organizes them into similar groupings or bundles, which was the core selling point and core feature of Inbox, and it is again a core feature here in Shortwave and probably the main reason you might want to take a look at this email client altogether. Much like Inbox, Shortwave works well as it turns your regular Gmail account or the inbox itself into a checklist of tasks of sorts. This saves time managing and sorting unnecessary emails that simply create noise and do clog your inbox throughout the day. Luckily, you can pin messages for later or long-term access, and as someone that often loses track of important emails, this is a really nice option to have, and it does feel better than what is a sometimes basic starred email option within Gmail, and does make it much easier to find things when you need them the most. Viewing emails is also quite different to the full screen one at a time approach that is used by most email clients, including Gmail. Shortwave uses a threaded message view, which means that it's more like instant messaging than the traditional email paradigm that you're maybe used to or have become accustomed to, and this definitely speeds up conversations and in turn feels more approachable, but it could be frustrating for some people that prefer a more focused approach to their online correspondence. GIF and emoji support has also been directly lifted out of the likes of Discord and Slack, but you can even use app mentions or mention people in your groups, much like you can on both of these clients, and this is a nice little touch. It remains to be seen though if Shortwave is the best place for instant messaging, but it provides a one-stop portal for your email and team correspondence. This isn't a feature that I've had the ability to try thoroughly though, but it is something that I definitely think is very interesting to say the least. Here's the best news though. The sweep feature from Inbox is back and it works perfectly here. And this allows you to instantly archive all messages that have already been categorized or bundled. The feature is an incredible time saver and is one of a number of reasons that Inbox was so revered by fans. And I'm sure you'll be down in the comment section telling me some other regions. It's also worth noting bundles also supersede the primary, promotions and social subsections of your general Gmail account. Obviously this means everything comes into the one inbox, but the bundling of similar messages together reduces the clog that is often created, and it just makes things a little neater overall. Then, with just a single tap of that checkmark or sweep button, it sweeps away and archives these emails instantly. You do have some controls as well over how emails are bundled within the wider Shortwave settings. The email client can detect, though, previous important tags from Gmail, calendar reminders, social accounts, promotions and ads, updates and receipts, plus forums and even mailing list content. You can't make any of your own tags at this point, but maybe we'll see that in a future update to the service, and it's something I would really like to see myself. Either way, as far as I'm concerned, the sweep feature is the pièce de résistance, as when your email inbox is constantly being bombarded on a daily or even hourly basis, there simply is not enough time to sift through and read each individual piece of correspondence. A quick sweep of your inbox is all you need to do to just keep on top of everything and tune out all of that unneeded noise. The sweep feature also joins the standard snooze mechanic with options to pause until a certain time or date, or a quite funny someday option, which I've no idea how it decides on when a reminder will be forthcoming or sent to you, but I quite like it all the same. Alas, there is a minor catch here, as no service can run for free indefinitely, and that is true of Shortwave. Yes, you can use a free plan with no real issues and no problems, and there is a $9 per month paid tier that lets you access more than just 90 days of your recent Gmail message history. This might be especially useful to organizations with large teams, but for most individuals, we'd wager that 90 days is more than enough of a time period to access and manage your previous email messages. I also mentioned that notifications can sometimes be a little bit delayed. Luckily, this has improved over the week or so that I've actually tested Shortwave on a few of my personal Gmail accounts. Hopefully, though, we'll reach a point where it's indistinguishable between Shortwave and the native Gmail client, but I can forgive notifications arriving a few seconds late, given that this is a third-party client after all. The biggest gripe is certainly the Android app, and it needs to be rapidly prepared, as the web client, at least on Android, doesn't quite do things justice. That complaint aside though, Shortwave it's not perfect, but it's certainly off to a great start. Over the past few years, we've seen a number of email clients aim to provide inbox-like features, including Spark, which is probably the best example, and even Google did promise to bring some inbox options over to Gmail itself. However, they haven't done so yet, and nothing has quite captured that outright inbox feeling so far. I have to say Shortwave is the closest approximation, but with a few features from instant messaging clients thrown in for good measure. It is hard to argue though that the $9 per month access point for a premium account isn't going to be for everyone, but a free account is definitely worth a try if you're still out there pining for inbox. However, I do hope you did enjoy this look at the email client in all its glory, but until next time, this is Damien with 95 Google saying thanks for watching, and I will speak to you later.